E eşittir mc², bilimin kutsal kasesi haline geldi. Atomun derinlerinde hapsolmuş muazzam enerji rezervlerini vaat ediyordu. Einstein atomu parçalamanın yüzlerce yıl alacağından şüphe ediyordu. Ama İkinci Dünya Savaşı'nı ve Hitler Almanya'sında yaşayan dahi bir Yahudi kadını hesaba katmamıştı. ...20 yaşındaki Avusturyalı Lise Meitner feci şekilde çekingendi. Ama bu genç fizik doktoru korkularına rağmen Berlin'e geldi. Yeni ve heyecan verici radyoaktivite alanında ilerlemeye kararlıydı. Maalesef 1907'de Alman üniversiteleri kadınları lisansüstü eğitime almıyordu. Neyse ki imdadına bir adam yetişti.
Fräulein Meitner.
Yes?
Otto Hahn. I'm a researcher in the Chemistry Institute. Professor Planck suggested
Herr Hahn, I have read your papers on thorium and on mesothorium, and Dr. Planck suggested that
Yes, he suggested that I speak with you. I need someone to collaborate with.
I think I could really help with the physical analysis.
And the mathematics.
Yes, and the mathematics.
Studying radioactive atoms has become so much a collaboration between chemistry and physics these days.
Yes.
I'll ask Fischer for a laboratory then.
Excellent.
I'll speak to you soon.
Lise Meitner, dünyanın tarihini değiştirecek kaçınılmaz yolculuğa ilk adımını atmıştı. Tuttuğu bu yol hem başarı ve ünle hem de korku ve ihanetlerle doluydu.
At this time, not a lot was known about the atom. At first, people thought it was like a miniature solar system. There was a solid nucleus at the center, and electrons would spin around it, sort of like planets around our sun. A little later, some researchers proposed that the nucleus itself wasn't a solid chunk, but is made up of separate particles of protons and neutrons. But then, in what are called radioactive metals, things like radium and uranium, the nucleus itself seemed to be unstable, leaking out energy in particles. Perhaps this was an example of E equals mc², the mass of a nucleus turning into energy.
Meitner ve Hahn'ın atomun gizlerini bulmak için başladığı ortak çalışma çok adaletsiz bir şekilde başladı. Hahn'a bir laboratuvar verilmişti. Meitner ise bir atölyede çalışmak zorundaydı.
I see you haven't set your hair on fire.
Herr Hahn?
The boss, he thinks that if he lets women into the Chemistry Institute, they'll set their hair on fire.
Oh, so his beard must be fireproof.
Good day, Herr Hahn. Good day.
You see, I am non-existent to this place. At least physicists recognize me for my abilities.
Yes, where would we chemists be without the steadying hand of the physicist?
It took years, but Lise lost her shyness eventually. In 1912, she and Hahn moved to the brand new Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Chemistry, where the status was really that of equals. Lise became the first woman in Germany ever to have the title of professor.
Lise, I have news. Remember the art student I told you of?
Yes, Edith.
Yes, well, I have asked her to marry me, and she has accepted.
Oh, Dr. Han, congratulations.
Yes, well, I wanted you to be the first to know.
I'm very pleased for you. Very pleased.
Lise Meitner was warm-hearted by nature. She had many friends, and she may have wanted to have a closer relationship with Otto, but it really does seem that physics was Lise's first love, maybe even her passion.
1920'li ve 30'lu yıllar nükleer araştırmaların altın çağıydı. O dönemde en çok tanınan atom çekirdeği 238 proton ve nötrondan oluşan uranyum atomundaydı. Meitner ve Han yeni nötronlar ekleyerek daha büyük bir çekirdek oluşturmaya çalışarak yarışı önde götürüyorlardı.
So, the atom, pretty familiar. Nucleus in the center, electrons orbiting around. The nucleus is our focus. The nucleus made up of protons and neutrons. Now, the largest nucleus that we know is that of the uranium atom. Its nucleus is a tightly packed structure of 238 protons and neutrons. The thrust of our work is to try to fire neutrons into this huge structure, and if we can get a neutron to stick in here, it will be a breakthrough.
Meitner büyük bir keşfin eşiğinde olabilirdi. Ama 1930'ların Almanyası dünya çapında bir bilim kadını için bile tehlikeliydi.
The Jewish Endangers Institute.
When the Nazis came to power, one of the first things they did was to drive out Jewish academics from the universities. Einstein was very prominent, and for that reason he was one of the first to go. He was hounded out of Germany in 1933. Lise was not dismissed at that time. She was able to stay because she was Austrian. But in March 1938, Austria was annexed into Germany, and at that point her situation became untenable.
What is it?
Frightening news.
What's happened?
Kurt Hess is going around saying that I should be got rid of.
I actually knew. I heard today I was going to speak to the treasurer of the institute before I told you. We'll speak to him tomorrow. Come on, let's get you home. Late. We'll finish up.
Meitner'ın üzerindeki baskı dayanılmazdı. Nazi karşıtı görüşleriyle bilinen Han, hiç değilse başlarda onu korumak için elinden geleni yaptı.
I need to talk to you about Lise.
Not now, I'm too busy.
We have to protect her.
How? What can we do? The situation is the way it is. Who knows what will happen next? She can't stay. It's just not tenable.
But she hasn't got a visa or even a valid passport. And she may soon be forbidden to leave Germany.
We can't harbor a Jew. If she stays, the regime will shut us all down.
Lise. Pauline demands that you leave.
You can't throw her out.
Pauline says you should not come into the institute anymore.
Well, I have to write up the thorium irradiation tomorrow, so I have to come in.
You've given up.
Meitner'ın azledileceği ve muhtemelen tutuklanacağı kesinleşince Avrupa'nın dört yanındaki fizikçiler ülkeyi terk etmesine mazeret olsun diye onu konferanslara davet eden mektuplar yazdılar. Ama Naziler onu bırakmayı reddetti. 1938 Temmuz'unda Hollandalı bir meslektaşı Lise'yi Berlin'den alıp yasa dışı yollardan trenle Hollanda'ya götürdü. Yolculuk o kadar korkutucuydu ki Lise bir noktada geri dönmek için yalvardı. Ama büyük tehlikeye rağmen kurtuldu.
She had lost everything. Her home, her position, her books, her salary, her pension, even her native language. She had been cut off from her work just at the time when she was leading the field and was on the brink of a major scientific discovery.
Çektiği onca sıkıntıya rağmen Lise hala fiziği düşünüyordu. Şaşırtıcı bir şekilde Hahn'la mektup yoluyla çalışmayı sürdürdüler.
I hope, my dear Otto, that after 30 years of work together and friendship in the Institute, that at least the possibility remains that you tell me as much as you can about what is happening back there.
Lise was invited by an old student friend to spend Christmas on the west coast of Sweden. Her nephew, Otto Robert Frisch, who was also a physicist, came to join her there.
Aunt? Aunt? Aunt? Lisa, how are you, my dear? Merry Christmas, Aunt.
I need your help. Come on, let's go out.
But I was hoping you'd help me.
Hansa Berlin'de tuhaf sonuçlar alıyordu. Uranyum çekirdeğini nötron bombardımanına tutmanın büyüklüğünü değiştirdiğine dair bir kanıt yoktu. Hatta deneylerine daha küçük bir atom olan radyum karışıyordu. Meitner'ın uzman görüşüne çok ihtiyacı vardı. Meitner, uzaktan öğrendiklerinden deneylerinde çok değişik bir şey olduğundan kuşkulanıyordu.
Hahn and Strassman are getting some strange results with the uranium work.
Really?
A couple of months ago, Hahn told me that they were finding radium amongst the uranium products. We are looking for a much bigger element, and here we're finding something much smaller. I urged Hahn to check again. It couldn't be radium. And now he writes to me and tells me that it's not radium, it's barium.
That's even smaller.
Exactly. Hahn is sure that it's another error, but I don't know anymore. It is at least possible that barium is being produced.
So Hahn still needs you to interpret the data.
It is my work too, you know.
Exactly.
Well, I can't be there, can I? Come on, let's walk.
Surely he's made a mistake, hasn't he? He hasn't done what you told him to.
Oh, my darling Robert, he may not be a brilliant theorist, but he's too good a chemist to get this wrong.
If you imagine a drop of water, a big drop, it's unstable, on the verge of breaking apart. It turns out that a big nucleus like uranium is just like that. Now, for 4 years, Meitner and Hahn and all other physicists had thought that if you pump more neutrons into this nucleus, it'll just get bigger and heavier. But suddenly, Meitner and Frisch, out in the midday snow, realized this nucleus might just get so big that it would split in two.
If the nucleus is so big that it has trouble staying together, then couldn't just a little tiny joke from a neutron...
Yes, but if the nucleus did split, the two halves would fly apart with a huge amount of energy. Where's that energy going to come from?
How much energy?
Well, we worked out that the mutual repulsion between two nuclei would generate about 200 million electron volts. But something has to supply that energy.
Wait, let me do a packing friction calculation. The two nuclei are lighter than the original nucleus of the uranium by about 1/5 of a proton in mass.
What? So some mass has been lost. Einstein's E equals mc².
If we multiply the lost mass by the speed of light squared, we get 200 million electron volts. It split the atom.
No. You've split the atom.
It was an amazing discovery. Of course, in the laboratory, we're talking about tiny amounts of uranium and correspondingly tiny amounts of energy. But the point is that the amount of energy released was relatively large, and it came from the mass of the uranium itself. The energy released was entirely consistent with Einstein's equation E equals mc².
Meitner ve Frisch'in nükleer füzyon adını verdikleri keşiflerinin yayınlanması büyük coşkuyla karşılandı. Ama onları büyük bir ihanet bekliyordu. Otto Hahn, Yahudi meslektaşını devre dışı bırakması için Nazi rejiminden baskı görüyordu. 1944'te bu keşif için verilen Nobel ödülünü tek başına aldı. Konuşmasında Meitner'ın önemli rolünden pek bahsetmedi. Gariptir, Hahn savaştan sonra bile nükleer füzyonu Meitner'ın değil, kendisinin bulduğu iddiasını sürdürdü.
Now I want to write something personal, which disturbs me and which I ask you to read with more than 40-year friendship in mind and with the desire to understand me. I am now referred to as Hahn's longtime co-worker. How would you feel if you were only characterized as the longtime co-worker of me? After the last 15 years, which I wouldn't wish on any good friend, shall my scientific past also be taken from me? Is that fair? And why is it happening?
Lise Meitner had been working on this for 30 years. She'd only broken apart a handful of atoms, but that was enough. Once she had broken even one, the genie was out of the bottle. What Meitner had started, after that, physicists around the world began to realize they could take it a lot further.
1942'de atom bombası yapmak için yoğun bir çaba başladı. Amerika'nın dört bir yanında şifreli bir adla Manhattan Projesi adıyla gizli tesisler kuruldu.
Meitner was asked to join the Manhattan Project, and she refused. She refused to have anything to do with the atomic bomb. But Robert Frisch was different. He was an important member of the team because he was convinced of the need to beat the Nazis in a nuclear arms race.
Almanya'ya karşı asla nükleer bomba kullanılmadı. Ama E=mc²'nin korkunç yıkıcı gücünü göstermek için Hiroşima ve Nagasaki'ye atom bombaları atıldı. Birkaç kiloluk uranyum ve plütonyumdan elektromanyetik radyasyon formunda inanılmaz boyutta bir enerji açığa çıktı. Kaderin oyunuyla dünyanın en yetenekli bilim insanlarının masumane merakı insanlığa bir kitle imha silahı getirdi. Ama denklemin yaratılışa ve güzelliğe paralel bir hikayesi var.